So I'm getting a later start today than in previous days because, man, was I really tired. I was up late last night trying to get some work done. And I mean, it's kind of been my life this week. So yeah, woke up. Then I ended up watching a few videos. And one of the videos I watched was Comics Matter with your boy Zach. And he basically was postulating, what if the comics industry is already dead? And it's being propped up, Weekend at Bernie style. Then I started watching Clownfish TV talk about what's going on at DC with the 5G reboot that's getting ready to happen. And I had to stop that because essentially it was kind of making Zach's point for him. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree that the industry is already dead and it's literally being propped up. Like, I know that it definitely is in Marvel and DC's case because they have AT&T and Disney money, and they, and those studios just want the properties and they just want to use and abuse the characters. So they don't really care about the comics. And of course, with the smaller ones, it's the same thing. Everyone's trying to get a movie deal, a television show deal. Everyone's trying so hard to, flood other entertainment. And yeah, it's why it's been so difficult to find good comics lately, because he's right. They don't care because they don't have to, because they're already in a dead industry. And they're literally just trying to keep themselves afloat so that they can pretend that it's still a working industry. So with that sad news, let's get into some articles. So this one entertained me. I saw it yesterday. And I saw commentary on it yesterday. And it entertained me mostly because of Rob Liefeld's reaction to this. Like, I'm not going to pick on the Mary Sue. I'm not going to pick on any of these people because it is the regular outrage culture kind of thing. It's the idea of Rob Liefeld pointed out a fact and they got upset because, it's outrage culture and, we're going to read more into what you said than what you said. And, I just loved his response because basically it pointed out the truth in that I don't care about what you people think because you're not even the people buying comics in the first place. You're not even the people that are invested in this. These are the people that are the pretenders. These are the people that helped kill the industry. These are the people who, essentially destroyed everything and they're complaining just to complain. And oh, I love that response. So that's about all I had interest in that. And, the next two articles, of course, I'm glad for Sonic, outgrossing Birds of Prey. And really because that is the thing that highlights like that. And of course, the backlash that's happening right now, because of course, news media is trying to point out, Sonic hasn't been relevant since the 90s when it was a game and it's an old property and who cares about Sonic? And the reality is, well, apparently a lot of people care about Sonic. I have very fond memories of the Sonic game. And that was part of the reason that I went. Plus, the studio listened and the director was grateful to fans and he did everything that people have been looking for. And that's why they were successful. And of course, that's why they're getting railroaded because, you have that contrast. And so, this is kind of like it's kind of like showing that kind of crossroads that we're at, because this goes a little bit more with a couple of of a couple of other articles and pieces of news that I've seen, and one of those, of course, is director Taika Waititi of Thor: Love and Thunder. Like, he wants Valkyrie to be explicitly queer. And I know that this goes along with the whole news about the Eternals coming out, whenever that's going to come out, talking about the first gay kiss, or main gay kiss, I guess. It's that thing of, we're not telling you what the movie's about because we don't care what the movie's about. We care about the agenda. And it's kind of, of course, that's why Sonic did better than Birds of Prey, because whether Birds of Prey was a feminist piece or not, the marketing of it, the words of Margot Robbie, the words of Ewan McGregor, the words of, the people surrounding the movie, it made it seem as if it was going to be a progressive statement, and people didn't want to see that, because I don't believe it was just the hard R rating that hurt it. I do think that it did have an effect because Harley Quinn is pretty popular with younger viewers. But I do think that, it's this whole thing that Hollywood has been doing. And it's why my videos have been all about pointing out the agenda. And, like right now, it's kind of a little agitating because, I'm doing this on the heels of watching, DNC's video about the comic industry being dead. And because it's like, I look at this and it's like, why won't Hollywood learn its lesson? Why won't comics learn their lesson? Why won't these people learn their lessons? And the answer is, they don't care, because the industry is already dead to them. They already have plans of where they want to go and what they want to do. And it's just a matter of them trying to get there and use what's left of the remains in order to do it. And it's really it's really, 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 really kind of sad for me, because I just got the Marvel Epic Collections, I think is the series that it's called. And I got the Power Man and Iron Fist series, which, okay, I've only read the first 2 issues of that collection and I already enjoy it. Mostly because it's, it was, these issues were done in the 70s, so it's full of talk from the 70s, and I was not alive in the 70s, so it's just kind of funny to me. But when you contrast a time when they actually cared about comics and actually cared about putting out good product, and they cared about what fans and customers thought, and you look at today's kind of dreary, uninspired work, it's really bad. it's really sad. And I've always thought, how could you create competition and things like that? But it's sort of like, if the industry is already dead, then it's not really going to matter, is it? It's not really going to matter, because you're not going to convince people who care. And yeah, this is, for me, I'm saying this, and a lot of this happened more broadly with other things. And, so it's kind of been, for me, it's been a little bit more of a kind of like epiphany just in various things going on in my life. Like, I always kind of knew that you weren't going to convince people who didn't care. But now it's like, it kind of just hit home a bit. You're not going to convince people that don't care. These people in the comic book industry don't care. And you're not going to convince them to give them, you're not going to convince them to give you what is going to entertain you, because they just don't care. They don't care about the industry. They only care about themselves and what they want to do. And if it's outside of that, it doesn't matter. And, that kind of attitude it's impossible to combat unless you can get people to admit, it's hard to combat until you can actually get them to care about something, but if they don't care about it and you can't get into it, then it's sort of like you have you have no choice but to try to move on yourself. And, I keep talking about the Indiegogo thing being unsustainable. And it's because I really do kind of believe that because I don't know. I mean, the hope would be that as things got better, as people improved, as people continue to do their books and things like that. But it's hard when you have something that it's okay, and it's been okay for people to, where it's been okay for people to be late on products. And, it might not inspire them to actually improve themselves or to do better. And I don't want to just talk about Indiegogo or anything. And, I'm still a little bit in my thoughts now that I have this new understanding kind of brewing sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, TNC kind of just messed me all the way up because I had these articles picked out before I even watched his video. Then I watched his video and then I looked back at these articles and it was like, you know what? He's right. He's right. So it doesn't even matter talking about these. I know I'm not going to see Thor Love and Thunder because I've not seen a single one of the Thor movies because I just don't care about Thor. And hearing them talk about politics and agenda over even knowing what the movie is about, yeah, I'm definitely not going to be interested, even if it's not as blown up as they're trying to make it seem. It's the virtue signaling aspect of it that I do not like. I know I'm definitely not going to see the Eternals because, first of all, I don't even know who the Eternals are. Second of all, you've not told me what the Eternals is about. You just told me about this big gay kiss that I'm supposed to be excited about and I'm supposed to come see, and I will not come to see it. Third of all, I don't like that you've just randomly gender swapped and race swapped Eternals characters because there really was no need for you to do that. And it goes back to the agenda. For me, we're kind of in a phase of voting with the wallet. I mean, I'm definitely in a phase of voting with my wallet. I'm not interested in simply paying for things that are not going to interest me. And so, yeah, if comic books are dead, then maybe it is time to explore the old style comics that came before. Maybe it is time then for more people who actually love and care about comics to begin, creating their own and begin to create a sort of atmosphere and platform and things like that by which they can do it. And whether it remains on Indiegogo or whether another one crops up, I am going to say I am never going to say that I have absolutely no hope, because the reality is if DC went away today, I would still have my back issue comics and I would still be able to, just for myself, because it's part of what I love being a creative, I could easily create my own stories. Maybe I couldn't sell it for profit or anything like that, but it's not like I couldn't create my own fan stories based off of those characters. So, you know, it's not like the characters will go away, because they will be alive in the previous issues of comics and things like that. And same thing for Marvel and some of my favorite Marvel characters. You know, there's always the back issues and things like that. So, you know, I am going to agree with Zach in that I'm probably going to call the industry dead, because they just don't care. And, you know, but I'm not going to say that it's dead with absolutely no hope, because we are in an age where, you know, there are people who still have creativity, and there are people who still are pushing to get their work out there. And so, you know, it's like with any other hobby or whatnot. It might take a little bit of search. It might take a whole lot of search. It might take all kinds of things. But at the end of the day, you know, I do believe that we will get there, because the people who are passionate about it they'll continue to work toward it. And so I could definitely just say that there is hope, at least for me. And, you know, because I'm a creative. And so I just know that even the series that I'm thinking of and looking for and trying to work on, that, yeah, there's always hope. And that's going to kind of do it for this video. Yeah, it didn't turn out the way that I thought it was, because it kind of did, in that it fell within the parameters of what the articles were telling me. But, you know, with this kind of like new information and this new epiphany, it just, you know, it just highlights. It just highlighted some things for me. So that's what I've shared with you. And if you like this, click the like button, click the subscribe button, do the bell stuff for notifications, share this, do all of that. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.